They say when a girl truly loves you, she doesn't always say it with words. She says it with silence, with small shifts in her energy, with quiet tests you may never even realize you're taking. Most men look for signs in what a girl says. But the truth is, some of the loudest signals come from what she doesn't say. She won't always come out and ask, "Do you love me?" or "Are you serious about me?" Instead, she'll watch how you react when she pulls away. She'll pay attention to whether you notice the difference in her tone, the hesitation in her texts, the way her eyes stop lighting up the same way. It's not to play games. It's because she's trying to protect the most fragile part of herself, her heart. You see, a woman who's been hurt doesn't just fall again. She watches, she waits, and she tests, not with cruel intentions, but with quiet hope, that this time someone might actually pass. She'll go silent to see if you'll listen even when she's not speaking. She'll delay her replies, not to make you chase, but to see if you still try. She'll pretend she's okay, when deep down, she's falling apart, just to see if anyone notices. That's how she measures your care. Not by your words, but by your awareness. By your effort when her energy fades. By your consistency when she's inconsistent. By your love when hers is quiet. These tests may seem small, even invisible, but to her, they reveal everything. Because she knows real love isn't just shown in flowers, gifts, or big promises. It's revealed in how you hold her when she stops asking, in how you stay close when she creates distance, in how you choose her then when she stops trying to impress you. If you fail these tests, she may never say it, but she'll slowly retreat. She'll tell herself she was right not to trust again, that you were like the rest. But if you pass them, if you show her that your love doesn't rely on her effort to feel real, that's when she lets you into the parts of her soul she's hidden for so long. So before you dismiss her quiet moments, her changes in behavior, or her sudden distance, stop. Ask yourself, is she testing how much I care without ever saying a word? Because sometimes, the way a girl doesn't ask for love is the clearest sign she's hoping you'll still give it. And if you learn to see those silent signals and respond not with frustration but with presence, you just might earn a place in the part of her heart no one else ever reached. 1. She pulls away emotionally to see if you chase her. When a girl pulls away emotionally, it's not always because she's lost interest. Sometimes, it's her quiet way of testing how much you truly care. She might suddenly become less responsive, talk less about her feelings, or stop initiating conversations like she used to. This emotional distance isn't accidental, it's intentional and subtle. She's observing, watching how you react when her presence starts to fade a little. Do you notice the shift? Do you try to reach out more? Or do you back off just as easily? She wants to know if your connection is deep enough for you to sense that something's different. Without saying a word, she's asking, will you fight for me when I go silent? It's a form of vulnerability wrapped in silence, a test not of control, but of care. She wants to feel chosen even when she isn't chasing you. Many girls do this when they feel unsure or insecure in the relationship. It's their way of looking for reassurance without begging for it. If you continue to treat her the same, show consistent effort, and gently ask if something's wrong, you pass her test without even knowing you were being tested. But if you disappear the moment she steps back, you confirm her fear, that your love was only skin deep. Her emotional distance is her silence speaking loudly. If you truly care, you'll feel it, and you'll respond with understanding rather than anger. Because to her, the way you respond in those quiet moments says far more than any romantic words ever could. 2. She gives you the silent treatment to test your patience. When a girl gives you the silent treatment, it's rarely just about being mad. Often, it's a deeper way of testing your patience, your emotional maturity, and your level of care. She goes quiet not to hurt you, but to see how you'll handle her silence. Will you get frustrated and walk away? Or will you stay calm, try to understand, and give her space while still showing that you're there? In her silence, she's not just avoiding a conversation, she's waiting to see if you'll make the effort to bridge the distance. It's a test of how much discomfort you're willing to sit through for her. If you react with anger, pressure her to talk, or try to guilt her into opening up, she sees that as a sign that you care more about your own comfort than her emotions. But if you remain patient, send gentle reminders that you're there for her and let her come back in her own time, you're showing the kind of strength she's secretly hoping for. Sometimes, this silence comes after a fight, or even when nothing seems wrong at all. That's what makes it confusing, but it's intentional. She wants to know if your love only flows when things are easy, or if you're steady even in uncertain moments. She wants to feel emotionally safe, and your response to her quietness tells her everything she needs to know. Her silence isn't about punishing you. It's about protecting herself while trying to understand your intentions. If you can wait through her quiet, offer her grace instead of pressure, and still treat her with love, you pass the test most men fail. And in her eyes, that patience speaks louder than any apology ever could. 3. She brings up her ex to check your jealousy level. When a girl brings up her ex in casual conversation, it's not always because she's still emotionally attached. Sometimes, it's a quiet way of checking how much you really care. Mentioning her ex isn't about nostalgia, it's a subtle test. She watches your body language, your tone, your silence. Do you seem unaffected, or do your eyes shift, your mood change, your voice harden? She's not looking for you to explode. She's looking for a reaction that shows she matters to you. For her, talking about her ex is a way to see if you see her as someone worth protecting. Will you brush it off like it means nothing? Or will you gently ask why she brought it up? Will you pretend not to care? Or will your emotions surface even a little? That flicker of jealousy, controlled, respectful, not possessive, can sometimes be the exact sign she's searching for. It tells her that she's not just a passing option to you. In some cases, she may even compare something you did with what her ex used to do, not to criticize, but to test your confidence. Will you get defensive, or will you show her you're nothing like the man who let her down before? It's not about the ex, it's about you, about whether your feelings run deep enough to be stirred by the thought of losing her. She doesn't want drama, she wants clarity. If you stay calm, but clearly show that the idea of someone else being close to her stings even slightly, it confirms your care. But if you act completely numb, she might start to believe you're just as emotionally unavailable as the one who broke her heart before. 4. She hides her feelings to see if you notice. When a girl hides her feelings, it's not because she wants to confuse you, it's because she wants to see if you're paying attention. She might smile when she's hurting, act fine when she's clearly distant, or avoid telling you what's really going on in her heart. But behind that silence, she's silently hoping you'll notice the difference. It's her way of asking, do you really see me, or are you only listening when I speak out loud? She doesn't want to beg for your attention. She wants to feel understood without having to spell out every emotion. So when she starts hiding her sadness, frustration, or disappointment, she's testing your emotional intelligence. Can you feel when her energy shifts? Can you tell when she's pulling back emotionally, even if her words haven't changed? To her, love means being seen, even in silence. If you notice her change in tone, her hesitation, her quieter replies, and you gently ask what's wrong or show concern without pressuring her, you pass a test most people don't even realize they're taking. But if you stay blind to her subtle shifts and assume everything's fine, just because she said so, she might feel emotionally alone, even while standing next to you. She wants someone who can read her silence like a language, someone who cares enough to look deeper, not just listen to the words on the surface, because the moment you start noticing the feelings she's trying to hide is the moment she starts feeling safe enough to show them. 5. She pretends to be okay when she's not. When a girl pretends to be okay when she's not, it's often her quiet cry for someone to truly care. She might laugh, smile, and act like everything's fine, even when her heart feels heavy. But beneath that calm surface, she's waiting to see if anyone notices the storm she's hiding. She doesn't always have the words to explain what's wrong. Sometimes she just wants someone to see through the mask without her asking for it. She pretends to be okay because she's tired of being a burden. Because maybe in the past, when she opened up, she was ignored, dismissed, or misunderstood. Now she watches to see if you can sense the difference between her real smile and her forced one. She doesn't want pity. She wants presence. She wants to know if you care enough to stay close even when she says, "I'm fine." This isn't a game or manipulation. It's a test of emotional safety. She wants to feel like she can fall apart around you and not be left alone. So if you take her "I'm okay" at face value and walk away, she'll believe that her feelings don't matter to you. But if you gently stay, offer comfort, and let her know you're there even when she's silent, she starts to believe she's not alone. She's not looking for someone to fix everything, just someone who doesn't run away when she can't fake her strength anymore. Her pretending is a test of your love's depth. And the moment you recognize that she's not okay, even when she says she is the moment she'll begin to trust you with the truth she hides from everyone else. 6. She delays replying to see if you double text. When a girl delays her reply on purpose, it's not always because she's busy or ignoring you. Sometimes it's her subtle way of testing your interest. She wants to see if you care enough to follow up, to check in, to double text. It's not about ego or playing games. It's about reassurance. She's wondering if your attention fades when hers slows down, or if you'll still try even when she steps back for a moment. She might wait hours before responding, or leave your message on read just to see how you react. Do you get cold and distant? Do you stop trying? Or do you send another message, light-hearted or caring, just to let her know you're still there? That one extra text, even something simple, tells her more than any paragraph ever could. It shows her she matters. She's not trying to trap you. She's trying to measure how consistent you are when the energy isn't equal. In her mind, if you back off the second she becomes a little less available, then maybe your interest was never real. But if you remain kind, patient, and continue the effort without needing her to respond instantly, she starts to believe your care is genuine. For her, that pause in conversation is like a silent question. Will you give up or will you stay? And your decision in that quiet space tells her everything. Sometimes the second message isn't desperation, it's devotion. And when she sees you're willing to reach out again, not because you're chasing, but because you care, that's when her walls start to fall. 7. She acts distant to see if you still try. When a girl starts acting distant, it's often not because she's stopped caring. It's because she's quietly testing if you still will. She pulls back, not to push you away, but to see if you'll notice the space she's creating. She wants to see if your interest fades the moment hers isn't loud and obvious. It's her way of asking, are you here because I'm available, or because you actually want me? She might stop texting first, take longer to respond, seem emotionally cold, or even cancel plans. These shifts aren't random, they're measured. She's watching your reaction. Do you check in? Do you ask what's wrong? Do you still make time for her? Or do you use her silence as an excuse to disappear? For her, the distance is a filter. It separates the ones who are only there for convenience from the ones who genuinely care. She doesn't want to chase love. She wants to feel pursued, even when she's not at her best. She's seen people give up too easily before, and now she wants to know if you're different. If you give her space, but still stay emotionally present. If you reach out with patience instead of pressure, with calm instead of anger, you pass the test she'll never admit she gave you. But if you pull away just as easily, she'll believe her fears were right all along. Her distance isn't the end. It's a doorway. And only those who care enough to walk through it, slowly and sincerely, ever get to see what's really behind it. 8. She talks to other guys to see if you care. When a girl starts talking to other guys around you, it's not always about attraction or attention. Sometimes it's a quiet test to see if you truly care. She watches your reaction closely. Do you get jealous? Do you shut down? Do you even notice? She's not trying to play games. She's trying to feel something real from you. She wants to know if your feelings run deep enough to be stirred by the thought of someone else having her attention. She might casually mention another guy in conversation, laugh at his jokes in front of you, or respond to messages in your presence. It's subtle, but intentional. She's not looking for drama. She's looking for proof. Proof that you value her enough to feel protective, that you're not indifferent when someone else steps into her space. For her, this isn't about making you compete. It's about confirming whether or not she holds a special place in your heart. If you act like it doesn't matter, if you stay quiet and detached, she might assume she means nothing to you. But if you show even the smallest, respectful sign that her attention matters to you, a shift in tone, a slight tension, a thoughtful question, it tells her everything she needs to know. She wants to feel chosen, not chased. And sometimes, seeing how you respond when other people enter the picture tells her more than any compliment you could give. It's not about control. It's about clarity. Because when a woman truly likes you, she doesn't want the attention of others. She just wants to know if she has yours. 9. She shares her insecurities to test your comfort. When a girl opens up about her insecurities, it's one of the most vulnerable things she can do. And often, it's her way of testing how emotionally safe she feels with you. She might mention things she doesn't like about herself, talk about past experiences that left scars, or quietly express fears she usually keeps buried. She's not doing it for sympathy or attention. She's watching how you react when she shows you the parts of herself that she normally hides. To her, sharing these insecurities is more than just honesty. It's a silent question. Can you handle the real me? She wants to see if you'll still look at her the same way, if your tone will change, if your presence will stay just as warm. It's not about fixing her. It's about accepting her. Because if she feels judged, dismissed, or made to feel weak for opening up, she'll close that door and never open it again. But if you listen without rushing to solve, if you stay gentle and present, if you make her feel heard instead of uncomfortable, that's when her trust begins to deepen. She's testing the depth of your care, not just for the confident version of her, but for the one who sometimes feels small, unsure, or broken. This kind of test isn't loud or dramatic. It's soft, fragile, and real. And the way you hold her words, with kindness or carelessness, decides whether she continues to let you in or quietly pulls back. Because for her, love isn't just about romance. It's about safety. And showing you her insecurities is her quiet way of asking, can I be myself with you and still be loved? 10. She suddenly becomes cold to see if you'll warm her. When a girl suddenly becomes cold, it's often not because she's lost interest. It's because she's trying to see if you'll still show up when her warmth disappears. Her shift in tone, her quiet replies, her distant energy, they're not meant to punish you. They're her way of asking, will you still care when I'm not easy to love? She's testing the strength of your connection, not through sweetness, but through silence. She wants to know if your affection is consistent, or if it only exists when she's cheerful, playful, and affectionate. By becoming cold, she's creating a moment of emotional winter, not to freeze you out, but to see if you'll try to bring back the warmth. Sometimes this coldness comes without warning. One day she's laughing with you, the next, she's quiet and distant. And in that change, she's silently watching. Will you ignore her mood? Will you walk away? Or will you lean in with patience, ask her what's wrong, and offer gentle comfort without pressure. She doesn't need grand gestures. She needs reassurance. In her coldness, she's not asking for solutions. She's asking for effort. She wants to see if you'll fight for her attention the way she quietly fights for yours. If you respond with care, not frustration, if you stay soft when she turns hard, you prove to her that your love isn't seasonal. Her coldness is not rejection. It's a question without words. Will you stay even when I make it hard to? And if you answer with kindness instead of withdrawal, you become the warmth she was hoping to feel all along. 11. She stops asking for attention to see if you offer it. When a girl stops asking for attention, it's rarely because she no longer wants it. It's usually because she wants to see if you'll give it without being told. She pulls back her usual habits, the sweet messages, the playful check-ins, the gentle reminders that she misses you, not because she doesn't feel those things anymore, but because she wants to know if you do. She spent time giving, showing up, and pouring her energy into making you feel seen. But now she needs to feel it from your side. Unprompted, unrequested, real. By going quiet, she's silently asking, will you notice when I'm gone? Will you care enough to reach out first? 12. She changes her behavior to see if you'll notice. When a girl changes her behavior, even slightly, it's often her way of seeing how closely you're paying attention. She might stop doing something she used to do all the time, like calling you at night, sending good morning texts, or asking about your day. Or she might start acting differently, dressing a little differently, speaking less, being less playful. These shifts are rarely random. They're her quiet way of asking, do you even notice when I'm not the same? She's not looking for praise or overreactions. She's watching for presence. She wants to know if you're emotionally in tune with her, if you care enough to pick up on the little things that say something's changed. Because for her, the small details matter. When you don't notice, she starts to feel invisible, like she could disappear piece by piece and you wouldn't even realize it. But when you do notice, when you gently ask, you've been quieter lately, or you didn't call last night, everything okay? That's when she starts to feel safe again. It tells her you're not just present in the easy moments, but also in the subtle ones, that your connection isn't surface level. This kind of test isn't loud. It's silent and intentional, and the way you respond tells her what kind of love you're offering, the kind that's only there when she's obvious, or the kind that listens even when she whispers with her actions instead of her words. Because sometimes, when she changes, she's not trying to confuse you, she's trying to feel seen. 13. She keeps secrets just to see if you'll ask. When a girl starts keeping small secrets, it's often not because she's hiding something serious. It's because she wants to see if you care enough to notice what's missing. She might mention she had a long day without saying why, or say she's going out without telling you where or with whom. It's not meant to create drama. It's a quiet test. She's waiting to see if you'll ask, if you'll be curious, if you'll want to know more than what she's giving on the surface. It's her way of asking, do you care about the details of my life, or are you only interested when I hand them to you? She wants to feel like her thoughts, feelings, and routines actually matter to you, even the small, ordinary parts. When you don't ask, she might not say it out loud, but inside, she wonders if you've stopped caring or if you ever really did. She doesn't expect you to interrogate her or demand answers. She wants you to ask because you're genuinely interested, not because you feel obligated. A simple, you seemed quiet today, something on your mind, or who'd you go out with, can make her feel seen and valued in ways she won't admit. Keeping little things to herself is her way of creating silence, not to distance you, but to see if you'll step closer. If you show genuine concern, if you notice her pulling back and respond with warmth instead of distance, she'll open up again. But if you never ask, she'll assume you never wanted to know, because sometimes the things she doesn't say are the ones she most hopes you'll care enough to ask about. 14. She cancels plans last minute to see your reaction. When a girl cancels plans at the last minute, it's not always because something urgent came up. Sometimes it's a quiet way to test how you'll react when things don't go your way. She wants to see if your interest is real or conditional. Will you get upset, guilt her, or shut down? Or will you stay calm, understanding, and still treat her with care? This isn't about playing with your time. It's about seeing how you handle disappointment. She knows that in relationships, things won't always be perfect. So she creates a small disruption to see how emotionally steady you are when the script changes. To her, your response says more than any plan ever could. If you respond with grace, she sees that you value her more than the moment. But if you lash out or go cold, she starts to wonder if your connection was only ever about convenience. Sometimes, she might cancel with a vague excuse just to observe whether you check in later or let the moment pass, like it didn't matter. She wants to know, do you still make the effort even when your expectations aren't met? It's not about the cancelled plan. It's about the emotional tone of your reaction. Are you still kind when you're slightly hurt? Do you still make her feel wanted even when she changed the schedule? Because to her, love isn't just shown in flowers and dates. It's revealed in how you act when things don't go as planned. And if you can handle her last-minute no with patience, she'll see you as someone who might be ready for her real, imperfect day-to-day yes. 15. She pretends not to need you, to see if you'll still stay. When a girl pretends not to need you, it's not because she wants distance. It's because she wants to see if you'll stay, even when she stops reaching out first. She'll act independent, emotionally self-sufficient, maybe even a little detached. She'll stop leaning on you for support, stop asking for your presence, and carry herself like she's fine without you. But deep down, she's watching. Watching to see if your love is still there when she stops requesting it. This isn't pride or manipulation, it's protection. She wants to know if you're there because you genuinely want to be, or just because she made space for you in her world. When she pretends she doesn't need you, she's not pushing you away. She's trying to see if your heart will step forward on its own. She's silently asking, do you love me when I'm not asking for it? Will you stay when I stop needing and start choosing? She might become more focused on herself, quieter, less emotionally expressive. Not because she's over you, but because she wants to know if your care is unconditional. If you disappear when she becomes strong, she'll assume you were only there for the moments of weakness. But if you stay, still present, still caring, even when she says, I'm okay, she'll realize you're not just there for the role, you're there for her. To her, the greatest reassurance doesn't come when she begs for it. It comes when she pretends she doesn't need it, and you still give it anyway. That's when she knows. Your love isn't based on how much she leans on you. It's rooted in how much you choose her, even when she stands on her own.